name is Wanda Mwenifumbots, and I'm here to do the screencast for my database assignment. Okay, first and foremost, I'll make use of the database, which is UIC. So I'll start by making use of the database, which I named it UIC. Now I'll show all the tables. Okay, now the very first question requires to create a query that uses the order by clause. Yep. So I chose to select the student ID, first name, last name, and the class, but only for those students that are athletes. And I want to sort the results by the class of the athlete. I mean, that's the student class of the athlete. So yeah, okay. So this is how it goes. Select s dot last name, that's the last name of the athlete, and then the class they belong to. Oh, I made an error here. Okay, yeah. So that's the student ID, the first name, the last name, and the class. From the students table, which I gave an alias s, student athletes table, I gave an alias a, where the student ID in the students table matches that in the athletes table. Then order by the class, and there's the results. As you can see, the class, the results have been ordered by the class. So yeah, it works, and this can be used when someone maybe wants to view the student athletes details in the order of their class. Yeah, moving on to the next query, and the next query, it requires us to use an inner join. Okay, now the query I've chosen for this one is I want to join the teams table and the coaches table, in which I will use the coach ID as the common attribute. As in, when using an inner join, we require a common attribute to join the tables on. So I choose it to be the coach ID. Okay, here we go. So I select all using the stelix for all from the teams table, join with the coaches table, and I'll be using the coach ID as the common attribute. As you can see, those are the results, and as you can see, they're overlapping because the screen size is small. But if I were to maximize it, it would be somewhere like that, and but then screen size, it doesn't show all of it. So yeah, and this query, it can be used for maybe when you want to view the teams and their respective coaches, like to see every coach that is assigned to any team. So yeah, the next question requires us to create a query that uses the subquery in the where clause. And for this one, I chose to select the athlete's ID, the athlete's name, and the type of athlete that the athlete is from the student athlete table and students table, but where the student ID of the students table matches with that of the student athlete table. But but here's the catch. I want it to be only those results of the oldest student athlete in the database. Okay, so this is how I chose to do it. Um, Select a dot athlete, and the a is the alias. Dot athlete ID, a dot first name, last name, uh, the athlete type, yeah, from the student athlete table, alias a, and students table, alias f. Okay, where the student ID in the students table students table matches that in the athletes table, and the age of the student and the athlete's age, we can use it interchangeably now, is equal to, okay, here I will insert my subquery. Select the maximum age in the students table. Maximum age, this is to find the oldest student. The maximum age from students table. Yeah, okay, now this is to return the oldest students details. Yeah, as you can see, the athlete ID is 2, the first name Kinon and the last name Kina, and that's the type of athlete it is. And okay, how can this be useful? Okay, it can be useful when maybe we want to get the details of the oldest athlete at the school, and maybe the type of athletics he or she is involved in. Moving on to the next query, it requires us to use the partial matching. Okay, now with this one I'm taking it in the terms of, let's see, maybe we want to select all the coaches details from the coaches table, but only for the coach who has a phone number that ends with the last 3 digits 101. Okay, now this is what I would do. Select all from coaches table, where the contact address of the coach, contact address, like, this is a special word for, this is a word card, and we call it the like word card. Like, now the percentage is the word card again. The percentage is a special character that defines that we don't know the first characters, but then we all know the following characters, and that's 101, and this is how it ends. It ends with 101. Yeah, now as you can see, this brings out this coach ID, Anna Blair, and as you can see, the content ends with 101. Yeah, and how can we use this? Maybe in terms of, maybe we want to select the details of a specific coach from our database, but we can only remember the last 3 digits of their phone number. Yeah, that's when we can use this. Now, the next, we're moving on to the aggregate function. Okay, now this requires us to make use of aggregate functions, and I chose to make use of the maximum and minimum aggregate functions. And for this one, I want to first of all select the maximum age of a student athlete, and I also want to select the minimum age of a student athlete. Okay. So this is what I'll do. Select max, that's the aggregate function max, which selects the maximum age, from the students table, LSS, and then student athletes table, LSA, where the student ID in the students table matches that of student ID in the athletes table. Now, there, as you can see, that's the maximum age. Now we want to select the minimum age. Just copy this and select min from the same tables where the student ID in the students table matches that in the athletes table, and that's the minimum age. Now let's take this road. How can we use this according to my database? Maybe we want to find out the oldest and also the youngest age for student athletes at the school. This might be maybe for statistical purposes or something. So yeah, moving on to a query that uses the group by and having clause. Okay, now in this one I want to use it to select the athlete's details from the students table and the student athlete table, where the student ID of the students table matches that of the student athletes table. And then I want to group the result by the athlete ID and make sure that the displayed results are those of for athletes that are aged 15 and above. So yeah, okay, so this is how I'm going to do it. So it's select athlete ID from the athletes table, um, first name, last name, the age, the athlete type, yeah, okay. Now from the students table, okay, let me just save time. From students table and student athlete table, where the student ID from the students table matches that in the athletes table. Now I want to group the result by the athlete ID. Now my code is having, so this is before, like that this condition must be true so that the code might run. So I'm saying having that the age from the students table is greater than or equal to 15. There. Now, as you can see it has retained the students who are the age greater than or equal to 15. Now, how can we use this in real world situation according to my database? Can be used maybe to view those student athletes that are age 15 and above for statistical purposes or maybe academic. Now, the next query is a query that uses a subquery as a relation. Okay, now, so here we go. Select team name, comma, coach ID from this select. Now, since I'm using a subquery, athlete ID from the athlete ID, team ID, the team ID, team name, coach ID, from athletes on teams. That's the linking entity between teams table and the athletes table. On teams AT. Then teams, I've given it alias T. Now I'm having a where clause where the team ID in the athlete on teams table matches that of the teams table. Yeah, okay. Team ID, teams table. Now, since this is a subquery relationship, I'm just gonna name it as teams. I just have to name it as teams with athletes. Let's just name it like this: teams with athletes. Now, oh yeah, I made an error. Select athlete team. Select at dot. Okay, what did I make the error on? Select at dot athlete ID, at dot team, at td coach ID from athlete on teams, at teams t. Oh yeah, I missed a period here. At dot team ID, at dot team ID as yeah. Now it displays those results. Okay, now how can we use this? It can be used when maybe we want to see how many athletes do we have, like a team has, like, and also the team's name and its coach. Okay, so this, like, the number of times the team appears defines that an athlete is assigned to it. So the racing teams, it appears 1 2 3 4 times. That means it has 4 athletes assigned to it. So yeah, this can be used in that sense. The next one, I want to make use of the self join. Now on the self join, it would have worked better if I had a table like my ERD had recursive relationship, but I don't have that. So just gonna show this for purposes. Okay, so let's select as the first name, last name, um, first name, last name, last name. Okay, from students table alias s and the same students table alias 2, s2. So I'm having a where clause where is last name is equal to s2 dot s last name. Yeah. Another error. This dot s last name from students. Now s2 dot s last name. Where's my mistake? What s2 where oh, I figured where I've made the mistake. So select our left this comma. Select where this is equal to that. Yeah. So as you can see, the query ends. How can you use this? Like as you can see, the result, since the student with similar surname as another appears twice, so this information can be used to easily detect students with similar last names, whether to define that they are relatives or it's just coincidence. So this can be used by the management to understand which of the students are related and something like that.